Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bet99's The Parleh Show. Rob Conway running solo in studio today as my co-host Albert Vartanian is away today. He'll be back tomorrow, and actually I'll be in tomorrow as well. It's a big day for The Parleh and Bet99 as we are headed down to Toronto Festival of Beer tomorrow. Everyone will be there from the Bet99 team as well as the Parleh squad. So if you have tickets, head on down. You can find us at our booth. We'll have some drink tokens being handed out, lots of fun, some games, and some swag as well. We were wearing, if you were watching the show yesterday, we had the bucket hat on, the fast glasses. We'll have all that stuff down there at our venue. But we got a lot to talk about today. Some NFL news, which we'll be talking about with hopefully Matthew Barnaby in a little bit when he joins us. New York Jets news, Aaron Rodgers taking a bit of a pay cut in order to allow for the Jets to be able to make a few more moves, if you will. Something that I think if you're a Jets fan like Matthew Barnaby, you're very excited about. We talked about it yesterday, that Aaron Rodgers seems rejuvenated to be a part of this team. I mean, he's been with one team his entire career. Obviously super successful, multiple MVPs, a Super Bowl. But it seemed there near the end of his run with the Packers, it got a little bit contentious, if you will. And I think for Aaron Rodgers to have moved on to another organization, it's really helped him to be able to, just feel excited about playing football, especially at his age. He knows he has a finite time left, a few seasons left, be able to, find a way to get back to a championship game, maybe win a Super Bowl. So I'm really looking forward to talk to Barney about the Jets if we get the opportunity. But Justin Pooni is joining us in studio right now. And Justin, how are you, my man?
I'm good. I'm glad we're talking some Aaron Rodgers right now. Could you believe that $35 million pay cut, Rob? That's crazy.
That is insanity.
We're talking about what's going on in Saudi Arabia and dudes just getting offered stupid amounts of money.
I know.
And how refreshing is it that people are taking pay cuts? I just never thought it would be Aaron Rodgers, right? That was something totally I never thought would have been, possible. But look, he's in New York. There's going to be an ample amount of endorsement opportunities. You're probably going to see his off the field life increase even more. He's already been seen at Knicks games talking to Jessica Alba and stuff like that. So Aaron Rodgers is going to be fine. The pressure's now on the New York Jets to continue to build this roster out so they can win a Super Bowl. Look, Dalvin Cook's meeting with them today to enhance that backfield. They already have Garrett Wilson. They've brought in Alan Lazard. They have a lot of pieces there, but they play in such a tough division. The Bills, the Dolphins. I think people are sleeping on the Dolphins a whole lot, right? If Tua can stay healthy, I think the Dolphins are a better team. Vic Fangio is now the defensive coordinator in Miami. Now there's a full season with Bradley Chubb, Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard. That defense is going to be legit. And of course, when you have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill on the outside, along with Mike McDaniel's great coaching scheme, man, it's going to be a tough sled for the New York Jets, but very refreshing to see Aaron Rodgers do his thing.
One of the things that's important to look at too, and I was listening to some radio on the way in, and you look at the schedule for the Jets, and obviously they got to play the Dolphins twice, the Bills twice, and the Patriots twice.
Yeah,
they're all good teams. Maybe you get 2 from the Patriots and split the other 2. If that would be ideal, 4-2. But look at the other divisions they have to play. They have to play the NFC East, which is a solid top to bottom. Look, you can say what you want about whether or not that is an elite division, but they had some playoff teams last year, and they have to play every team in the AFC West. I mean, this is you may have to win that division just to get into the playoffs.
I'm looking at the Jets schedule right now. Look, they open up the season, of course, against the Bills. Probably going to be a loss, I think. Who knows? Then they play the Cowboys, and the Cowboys we know are one of the better teams in the NFC. Then you play the Patriots. Bill Belichick always plays well against the Jets. Then the Chiefs. Then the new Broncos.
So stop there. If I told you they're 0-4 after that, you wouldn't even be shocked.
No, I would not be surprised at all. But then they play the Broncos, right? And then Sean Payton came out today saying that the current Jets offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett did the worst coaching job in NFL history last year with the Denver Broncos, right? So there's going to be some animosity for that game. And then they got the Eagles, the Giants, the Chargers, all playoff teams, the Raiders, the Bills again. Like, this is a tough schedule the Jets have, right? And I think, look, there's some gimmies with the Commanders, the Texans, right?
Browns, maybe Panthers.
You can really see.
Oh, so those are preseason games.
Yeah, exactly. That's the preseason games, right? Like, when you look at this Jets schedule, It's nothing to. It's a hard schedule, right? And with a new team, with new weapons for Aaron Rodgers, yes, he's done well. He's actually shown up to all of OTAs and offseason workouts and training camp to build a relationship with those guys. But dude, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think they're. I think they're in tough right now.
You got to find 11 wins for 10 for sure. And like you say, look, if they're 0-6 going into the bye, they're toast. But I mean, there is an argument to be made that 3-3 is a pretty good run into the bye.
If they're 3-3 going into their bye week, that is an absolute win for them, because this is no schedule to sneeze at. This is something that's very difficult. I'm just trying to pull up their odds right now for the division. I think what is AFC? They have plus 245, the second best odds in that division. I get it. Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But this is something that it's very tough. In the AFC, there's going to be a whole lot of good teams that are not going to make the playoffs, right? I think that, probably the Cleveland Browns, who have a really good roster, will probably not make the playoffs. The Pittsburgh Steelers probably will not make the playoffs. I don't think the Denver Broncos will make the playoffs, right? Then you look at either the Bills or the Jets might not make the playoffs either. It's going to be very interesting in the AFC and how this breaks down. I just hope that for Aaron Rodgers' sake, he's calm, understands that it's going to be a building process, and he has to understand that the New York media is going to be attacking him. Because if they go 0-3, Rob, in the first 3 weeks of this season, that New York media is going to eat them alive.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. We'll talk more about that for some more NFL talk. And, of course, big trade for the Angels, an announcement that Shohei Ohtani is not going to be traded, as maybe we thought. But we'll talk a little bit more about that with Justin Pooni after the break here on Bet99's The Parleh Show. All right, welcome back to Bet99's The Parleh Show. Rob Conway here in studio with Justin Pooni, Albert Vartanian away today. I've got Matthew, Barnaby, and Barney. I just wanted to let you know we were chatting there in the opening block, and you got your Jets jersey on, but we have the Jets 0-6 heading into Week 7, or the bye of Week 7. And I'll tell you why, Barney. We're just kidding. They'll probably not be 0-6, but we just, we're talking about the schedule, and they have to play the NFC East and the AFC West, not to mention all the good teams in the AFC East. It's a daunting schedule for your Jets.
It's a tough start, but you guys are idiots if you think they're going to go 0-6. Like, absolute idiots. I could see 2-4, 3-3.
We think 3-3 is really good. If they get 3-3, that'd be good. Anything better than that is amazing. Yeah.
If we get 3-3 through 6, watch out. Under/over is 9.5 wins. I'm on the over. I see 10-7, 11-6.
Okay,
this team's too good. You give us Dalvin Cook now? Are you kidding me? Best running backs in the league. If you got Breece Hall, Michael Carter, and Dalvin Cook, by far the best backfield in the NFL. So 3-3. If we start 2-4, I'm still okay. It'll be a great turnaround. November 19th in Buffalo is going to be magic when the Jets go to town. And Monday night, I'm predicting a win right out of the gate, 1-0 against the Bills.
Big game too, because you want to win that division, and if you lose that game, then you got to go back to Buffalo just to split the season, and if you don't, then they have the tiebreaker, and basically you're 3 games down right out of the gate. So I mean, it's a tough spot to be in. If you lose that first game, it could be really important. But obviously a big night in New York, opening night with Rodgers and all that's going on. But sorry, go ahead.
I want to ask Matt. Now, look, I think the Dolphins and the Jets are going to be battling for a wild card spot. Do you think, though, the weapons that the Dolphins have? Vic Fangio is now the defensive coordinator, and he's legit. They got Jalen Ramsey. They got Xavier Howard, a full offseason with Bradley Chubb. I just think the way they stack up, the Dolphins are a better team than the New York Jets. Do you think that I'm crazy for that? Because I do think they're going to be 2-4 going into their bye as well.
I don't think you're crazy. Listen, I'll take the Bills, the Jets, and Miami. The Bills are the best team, and they've proved it the last couple of years. The Jets are sort of an unknown, but you also have a guy like Sauce Gardner that's going to be in his second year off the Defensive Rookie of the Year. You have Breece Hall that really didn't play last year that everyone expects to put up over 1,500 yards rushing. Garrett Wilson, obviously, we saw what he did offensively. The Dolphins are a really good team, and Could they win the division? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they won the division. It certainly wouldn't. Can Tua stay healthy? That's first and foremost. Yeah. After he takes a few hits, and they will be going after him. Everyone knows that. So can he stay healthy? That's an unknown that, everyone goes into the season. But when you've had concussions like he has only a year ago, that's an unknown I wouldn't like. And could the Jets win the division? Yeah, Bills are the favorite. But it's going to be a tough division, probably the toughest in the NFL.
Do you have a Rodgers jersey?
Not yet. He's only playing 2, maybe 3 years, so I don't think I will have a.
Didn't
Rodgers jersey.
Brett Favre went to the Jets, right?
Brett Favre did play for the Jets.
Do you have a Favre jersey?
I don't. I have the Sanchez jersey. Okay. I have. My wife last year. I wasn't really invested in. Listen, I would have got a Garrett Wilson jersey or a Sauce Gardner jersey. Those guys are going to be there for a decade. But we went old school. We just went Mark Gastineau last year. So there will be a purchase. We're going back to the white this year. Old school Jets on the helmet. So, but I have a surprise coming for week 1. It's not a jersey. But certainly I am going to look like an idiot, and that obnoxious New York fan certainly in New Jersey.
Matt, how surprising was it, though, as a Jets fan, to see a guy that Aaron Rodgers, who gets the narrative put out there that he's a very selfish guy, he's not really team first, take a $35 million pay cut? I was shocked when I heard that.
Yeah, you ever date a girl and just to spite her, you do something completely that you wouldn't do for her? That's what it feels like right here. Just spiting his old team. Listen, he goes there. He's made a lot of money. I still don't care. You give up $35 million. I don't care how much money you have to give up $35 million. His agent must be like, what the hell are you doing? But it shows his commitment. He wants to win. He's going to New York. He's spiting his old team, and he wants to win. We had no chance of signing a guy like Dalvin Cook. And certainly when he talked to Joe Douglas and we talked to Robert Saleh and Woody Johnson, the owner, he probably said, listen, I'm willing to take less money to help this team win. That's why I'm here right now. I have more money than God, and I just want to win. And this gives me, he feels, his best chance of a team that didn't have a quarterback going in there. So certainly very surprising. I didn't see this coming. I saw him restructuring it in a way that he would get all his money, but to leave $35 million on the table, to me this says, go get Dalvin Cook and let's be a powerhouse.
Is this the new move? Is this the new move in the NFL if you're an aging quarterback? Moving to another team that's younger, that's better. We saw Brady do it, Super Bowl. We saw Stafford kind of do it, although it wasn't his choice, but still, Super Bowl. Now we're watching Rodgers going here. And is this something Pat Mahomes is going to do 8 years down the road in Kansas City when that team is over the hill and no longer going to be, a threat to win a Super Bowl and head over to whatever young team is ready to go?
Yeah, time will tell. It certainly seems like that. And I think, everyone compares people to Tom Brady and how he took less. And these guys have so much money. And less is just a little fragment of what they have. But these guys want to cement legacy. And Super Bowls is the way you do that. Tom Brady is the GOAT. It'll be tough to surpass what he has done. But a lot of the reasons why is because he took less money to surround himself with better talent. And I listen, it's a formula. The less you take, the more there is to spend on other guys. And you just have to make sure. And I think that is part of the whole thing that sold New York Jets on him, and why it sold him on the New York Jets is they are a talented team. They are in win now mentality where they weren't a year ago. And if he's able to take less and surround them with more talent, it's just that much more attractive. So certainly it's a formula. We'll see if it works for the New York Jets. There's so many variables and unknowns. The first is just staying healthy for all these teams. But we're a lot better off than we were even 3 days ago as a New York Jets fan.
Same can be said, Barney, for the Los Angeles Angels, who were worried, if you're a fan of their team, that their best player in the history of the game was about to be moved on. And with a trade with Giolito and then Ronaldo Lopez as well coming over to L.A., they've announced that Ohtani's going nowhere. Are you surprised by this? Do you think it's the right move for the Angels? They're right there in the wild card race, but let's be honest, there's a significant chance that this not even generational. This is just sports forever player is going to leave for nothing. And is it the right move for the Angels?
Not on the same level, but I remember when Jay Bouwmeester, about 12, 15 years ago, was an unrestricted free agent to be, and they held on to him and they got nothing for him. From that day on, I said, never let a very good free agent leave for free, let alone the best player in baseball that I have ever seen and probably will ever see in Shohei Ohtani leave for free. This isn't a championship team. They might not make the playoffs, and he is going to walk out the door for absolutely nothing. This is a stupid decision by an organization that doesn't win and doesn't make right decisions. Two of the greatest players in this generation playing together, and this guy's going to walk out for free. Absolutely stupid decision by the Angels.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you have a player like Ohtani, you've heard the stories that they don't want to be the guys that got rid of Ohtani and send him out, but he's not like he wants to stay or he said I want to stay, and they're like, well, we don't care. Wayne Gretzky was traded. That's the thing that everyone always says. Yep. But when we'll talk about it a bit more on the other side. But it's a matter of what is best for this organization long term. And when you're a general manager, you have to make that decision. But as an owner, sometimes you don't care. This is your toy, and you want Ohtani to stick around as long as you can. Maybe you still believe because you've been so successful in your life that you're going to be able to sign him. So we'll see. But we'll talk a bit more about it on the other side of the break. But Barney, you're going to stick around with us. We're going to play Lay Your Money Down in Block 3. Myself, Justin, and Barney will be here after this. All right, welcome back to Bet99's The Parleh Show. Rob Conway in studio with Justin Pooni, as well as Matthew Barnaby joining us from Ottawa, I believe, although you're behind. Two different jerseys are behind you. Are you still in Ottawa?
I am in Ottawa, just changing the room around a little bit.
Oh, nice.
And these guys are two not bad players. If you saw this 32 Orlando jersey, obviously Shaquille O'Neal, it is, I'm 6'1". It goes down to my ankles. Literally the biggest jersey before framing it I've ever seen in my life.
Awesome. All right. Well, we just got some breaking news from a Miami reporter, Adam Beasley, that Jalen Ramsey was carted off the field at practice, hobbled to the cart. There's been no feedback on exactly what had happened. We were just talking about how good Miami could be and could win the division. And, of course, here it is, breaking news right out of the gate.
Last place.
Obviously, other than Barney, no one here is cheering for a Ramsey injury. But I'm kidding. I know Barney's not actually cheering for anyone to get hurt. But nonetheless, hopefully he'll be fine. But it is what it is with the NFL, right?
Hopefully it's what happened with C.J. Gardner-Johnson the other day in Detroit, where they looked like it was going to be a bad injury, but all was well. Mm-hmm. I really was excited to see Jalen Ramsey, and hopefully we still are going to see him play with that Miami Dolphins defense next to Xavier Howard. I think that was the best cornerback duo in the NFL. So hopefully nothing too serious for Jalen Ramsey.
5.5, 6 weeks till opening day. I think he's got lots of time. Hopefully it's not catastrophic, and certainly if you hobble to the cart, it's not likely to be super catastrophic. So not that I'm playing a doctor here on television, but hopefully everything's good with Jalen Ramsey. But quickly back to Ohtani. I just wanted to get your feel on it. Justin, what would you do if you were the Angels right now with a guy like Ohtani?
I agree with Barney. They should have traded him. I think Shohei's a guy who's probably going to walk, and he's been very vocal about how he just wants to win now. Mm-hmm. He wants to win and compete and be in the playoffs. This guy is too good of a player to not play in the playoffs, to not play baseball in October. It's interesting, though, that they shut it down a week before the trade deadline. If I was the Angels, right, I wouldn't have said anything and then drove the price up and see if you could catch somebody desperate enough right before the deadline to try to acquire Ohtani. The Yankees are in a dogfight right now. Could they be desperate enough to try to get Ohtani in right away? Possibly, but now, like we mentioned before, he's going to walk for free to the highest bidder, $500, $600 million in the winter, and the Angels are going to be left back at square one with nothing and just Mike Trout.
Yeah. I mean, if you're an Angels fan, you love it. You're glad. You're hoping that they do make a run, and that, with that and the excitement of that might keep him around. But even then, they could win the World Series and he could still walk. Now, if you win the World Series, you don't care. You made the right decision, but he still might not stick around. I mean, he may already be decided that I don't really want to play it with the Los Angeles Angels.
And who'd blame him?
The girlfriend analogy again. She tells you she wants to break up, so you go buy her a Louis Vuitton purse to try to keep her around a little bit longer, and then she leaves 2 weeks later with a nice Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. Then you're left with the bill and pie on your face.
Love it. All right, we're going to play a little Lay Your Money Down. These were brought to you by our producer and often guest on the show, Sean McCormick. He gave us a bunch to talk about. We were talking Justin Herbert yesterday, who is now the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Apparently that is only a moniker you can have for under like 2 weeks because someone else will get paid more than you. But you know who was on that list who's not there anymore is Aaron Rodgers because he was being an absolute team player. He was on that list, and now he's not there. But, Barney, I'll start with you. Lay your money down. Joe Burrow is the next highest paid quarterback, or much like Aaron Rodgers, he takes a cut and helps his team.
If Sean would have asked me this last week, I would have said yes, highest paid. With what I just saw from Aaron Rodgers, and they are completely different stages of their career, I think he feels a little pressure to take a little bit less. He's going to be close, but I think he's going to leave a little bit on the table to give them some little wiggle room for the years to come. So I'm going to say no, he is not, but he is top 3.
I think he is going to be the highest paid quarterback because you can circumvent the cap very well in the NFL, and I think they're going to maneuver money around where he's going to get the most guarantees and still top Herbert's contract, and they'll still be able to keep T. Higgins and Jamar Chase because in the NFL, unlike the NHL, GMs can be smart and circumvent the cap very well, and they will make it work in Cincinnati.
I'm going to go with he will be the highest paid quarterback as well because I just feel like that is part of the deal. You know, like you just have to do it. You have to take the money. Now, I'm with you, Barney, though, because not only do I think he feels pressure from Rodgers, I think there's an argument to be made if you wanted to make an excuse for doing this to yourself, like, you know, rationalizing your head. You can just say, I don't need to make more money than Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. I got no problem admitting that as Joe Burrow, and I'll take less. But I don't think he's going to do it. Not on his first contract. It's a little bit, like you said, Barney, a little easier for Aaron Rodgers. He's made a dollar or two in his career. I still wouldn't ship $35 million back to anybody, but very nice of him to do that. All right, lay your money down. Justin, I'll start with you, and this is for a Cowboys question. Ezekiel Elliott plays in Dallas or any other team in the NFL?
Well, if he was playing anywhere else, he would have signed already.
Oh, okay.
I think when I look at Zeke, right, he's Jerry Jones's guy. Like, Jerry Jones loves Zeke Elliott because he drafted him, took a chance on him in the first round. You know, he proved Jerry right, and then he went in a contract dispute, went to Cabo, crushed way too many beers, got a little bit heavy, and then lost his speed and velocity. But look, I think Zeke will come back to the Cowboys because the training camp's open. He still doesn't have a job, right? Tony Pollard is coming back from a severe injury. We don't know how healthy he's going to be. So they might need an insurance policy. What's the best insurance policy than a guy who's been there for years on just a cheaper rate than Zeke Elliott? So I'm going to say he stays in Dallas.
Barney?
Give me the field, baby.
Okay.
31 other teams out there, and someone is going to get hurt. That will drive up anyone that is left on the market. Zeke can still, I think, perform, even though it hasn't shown that the last couple of years. Hopefully doesn't fumble as much, and hopefully does shed that weight or keeps it off and didn't put too much on. But I'm going to take the field on this one. I just think ego plays into it, and he's going somewhere else.
Tony Pollard signed yet?
He signed the franchise tag.
Okay.
Franchise tag.
But he could sit out, but he's probably not going.
No, he's coming back from injury. He wants to prove himself.
Yeah.
And then, get
so, I'm going to go with the field then. I think they'll say it's fine, and I think Elliott will end up somewhere else, although I do like your point. Jerry Jones does fall in love with his players.
Yes.
And he might back the Brinks strap up just so he can say, I'm
I
still
don't know
buddies
back.
with...
Maybe he'll throw him some dollars his way.
Yeah. All right, lay your money down. Big deal the other day for Sebastian Aho, just under $10 million a year. Lay your money down, Barney. I'll start with you. William Nylander makes more money per season than Sebastian Aho.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Sebastian Aho is a way better player.
No, I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you who was the better player because I agree with you. It's does he make more money than him?
Well, I answered that in the start. The answer is no.
Okay.
No, he does not. There. You just want a blanket? You want a blanket response? No, he does not.
No, I just meant because he's not getting it from a competitive team, but could he get it from, the Arizona Coyotes and get $10 million a year?
He's not doing that.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, fair enough. And you're absolutely right, Barney. Aho is a better player. He's a premium first-line center, making almost $10 million. Certainly Nylander's not going to be able to get that from a good team that's up against the cap. If he wants to make more money than Aho, I think there is a suitor for him, but I think he'll be smart enough to realize $9 million in a good team's better than $10 million in the desert.
Look,
Justin?
Aho's had seasons of 38, 37, 36 goals, right? William Nylander's had 31, 34, and obviously broke out with 40 this year. Sebastian Aho is a better player. I think he's more of a game breaker. He drives more of the offense for the Carolina Hurricanes. So I do think he will get a bigger contract. Now, it's just to me, for the Leafs, how far off from that contract does Nylander get? Is it 9.5? Is it 9.7? Because reports are that Nylander wants $10 million. It starts at 10. I don't think that's going to work in Toronto, right? So I think, right, if I'm the Toronto Maple Leafs, I try to get him closer to the 9.5 and under.
I don't, Barney, I'll ask you, I don't think the Leafs can go, north of 9. Like, I don't think that's in what they can do. Now, my question for you, is that, do you think they can? But more importantly, in your time in the NHL, did you notice yourself or other players, are they more concerned what other guys are making around the league, or is William Nylander more concerned about what Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews are making that are in the same dressing room as him?
Well, I'd even parlay that onto the union on what guys are making and getting as much as they can. I think you look at your comparables around the league and then your team, you always want to be respected. I think that's for most guys out there. But leaving, like when you start talking $1 million, when you start talking after taxes with that kind of money, it's not that much when you're talking $80, $90 million being left, if you're leaving $1 million a year on the table. Now, I think William Nylander is a very selfish person, and I don't know him just from watching and listening and knowing his dad and negotiations, how they do things. He is going to get as much money as he can. I don't think he gives a crap if he's in Toronto, if he's in Arizona, if he's in Kazakhstan playing with Borat on the off days. He's going to try to get as much money as he can, and he is not going to leave one penny on the table. So he's going to try to get to that number. I didn't think he's going to be in Toronto at the end of the year because I don't think they can pay him $9 million, even though the cap is going to be going up in future years. They got to spend money on the back end if they're going to be a Stanley Cup contender.
All right, last question for Lay Your Money Down. Sean brought this up. I find it offensive that he brought this up, but nonetheless, he said over-under for Rob drinking beers tomorrow at the Toronto Festival of Beer. It's 8.5. I'll give you a piece of information before the show that just came through the text. My wife told me that my daughter Kyle will be staying with the in-laws tomorrow night. Barney, I'm starting with you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how to respond.
We got 30 seconds, Barney. 30 seconds.
Odds maker would be fired. It's going way over. Not even close.
Okay, Justin.
I'm gonna say you smashed the over within the first hour and a half.
First hour and a half. Yeah. We're going on a time limit now. What is that? Joey Chestnut with hot dogs at the Festival of Beer tomorrow. Well, we're gonna have a great time regardless. I think the over is probably a lock as well. There's smaller ones too. These are sample beers we're talking about, not full pints. Oh. All right, thanks very much, Barney. We'll talk to you soon, and have a great weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday next week. Justin, thanks very much. You'll be sticking around actually with Sarah and Noor as they're coming up next right here on the Parleh Show. All right, it's Bet99's The Parleh Show. Rob Conway, and I was going to say Albert Vartanian.
Bro, I don't look anything like
No,
Albert,
it's not that. It's such a natural thing to do. Justin Pooni, Nur Zainab, and Sarah Pararia.
Don't disrespect you. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. And this is a segment we usually do on Friday, but everyone's going to the Toronto Festival of Beer tomorrow, so it's going to be, slim pickings for who's going to be around the studio. In fact, I'm coming in tomorrow to host a show with Albert, and that means today we are going to be talking with Nur and Sarah about Are we officially calling the segment? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
All right.
What are you talking about, Sarah? Yeah, that's what's gonna be.
All right, and what are we talking about today?
Today we're gonna talk about Miss Doja Cat. She finds herself in the news every now and then, not for the best reasons, and this time is no different at all. We're just gonna roll the video because you'll see why all her fans are not in the best spirits when it comes to Doja Cat right now. The Doja Cat is catching flack from her fans for telling them that she does not love them because she does not know them. And obviously, as a result, they're all upset. They've formed armies together. As a result, she's lost 300,000 followers on Instagram in a day. So
I've never heard of an artist saying they don't love their fans. Like, this to me is just a dumb move from Doja Cat.
I think so.
Even if that is the case, all right, I don't love my fans. Maybe she hates her fans. Don't say it. Like, is she dumb? She's trying to get so deep and try and be this real person, in my opinion, where she's like, I don't know them, I don't love them. Totally, but also we're talking about your fans. You should love them. That's not the same love that you would have for your friends or your significant other, your family. Like, the fact that this is even something, it's like you played yourself and you're stupid. Like, that to me is like you are, I don't have a better term, and I'm sorry, but you are dumb because, like, these are people that are supporting you and literally making you money. Why would you not want to, I don't know, give them anything?
Is that not shooting yourself in the foot?
Yeah, but that's why. I hope she loses all of her followers now. Like, what are you being so dumb for?
And she's got some stan followers, and that means they are the first to purchase her tickets for everything.
Totally.
The first to spend money on her, the first to buy her merch, the first to put her on a pedestal, the first to stream her album and her songs 24/7, and then to be told, I don't know you, I don't love you like that. That's a little hurtful, right?
I didn't hear about any of this, but Doja Cat, you're wild and you're dumb. And you're dumb.
Who's your favorite artist? And is there something that they can do to make you unfollow them off of Instagram?
Shakira. Benito Bad Bunny. I like a lot. I honestly don't know. Like, I'm deep in it. Especially, like, think about, like, Shakira. I've been listening to her since I was like 4. So unless they did something that was like super like disrespectful and hateful towards someone, I really don't know if they could. Like, I feel like even if, like, Bad Bunny was like, I don't love you, I'd be like, I still love you though. I still think that, like, she just shouldn't have said this. Like, I can't even imagine Bad Bunny or, like, Shakira saying this because they're so open towards their fans, and I've seen both of them live. I've been following them for so long. Like, they are so open and thankful to their fans, and, like, that's just the way you should be because these are the people that, like, the stan culture, like, yeah, they're OTT for sure, like, for sure, but I still don't think they're the ones in the wrong. They're just dramatic about it, but they're still like, what? We're literally supporting you and you say you don't love us? Like, this to me sounds like she wants the mess, she wants the drama, she wants to be talked about. This could even be a PR stunt in that she wants to get herself in the news. And, like, that's the thing. You could play that reverse psychology nonsense. I do know that Doja Cat has a bit of, like, I don't know exactly why, but kind of a weird, messy past. And it just sounds like she's kind of messy. And maybe that's her, like, gimmick. To stay in the media, to stay relevant. Besides her music, of course, she wants to be talked about. So she's just out here, like, doing stupid things. But maybe it's not actually that stupid because here we are talking about her.
Well, her PR strategy is to lose 300,000 followers on Instagram. That is a fire your PR guy. Gun to your head.
No.
And imagine a rifle straight to your head right now. And you had to pick.
Oh my God, a rifle.
Which stan culture would you be a part of?
I mean, are we kidding? Little messy goats over here. Bah. Oh my God.
Goats over here. Bah.
First of all, I want to say, anyone watching, we love you and thank you for being a fan of the Parleh Show. Interesting. Yeah, not normally a move you'd want to do. I don't even understand why you say. I get it. You don't love someone like that you don't know. But anyone who's putting $1 in your bank account, you can still like them. And also, as anyone who cares about what you do enough that they're listening and following you and all that stuff, that's an appreciation that they have for you that you should return in kind.
Yeah, it just seemed like a failed PR strategy where you're going out there and telling the people that are the reason why you get these awards, you are able to sell your merch and able to sell your concert tickets, you're a millionaire because of them, and you're like, I don't like you. I don't know you, so I don't like you, which is fair.
That's true.
You don't know them, so you don't like them, but aren't you entitled a certain level of respect as a fan because you are what put them there, right?
I mean, but you know what I think about? I think about Charles Barkley. Remember Charles Barkley came out with that Nike commercial say, I'm not a role model?
Yeah.
Back like a long time ago. He came on and put a commercial. I'm not a role model. Your parents should be your role models or whatever like that. I'm just a basketball player. Yeah, it's a bad PR stunt by Doja Cat, saying that she doesn't love her fans. But look, man, a lot of artists are getting pissed off with their fans right now. Dude, people are throwing stuff on stages. I think Adele said she was gonna beat somebody up if somebody threw something on the stage for her last.
That was
month.
that was sarcastic, I think.
No,
That's
I think she was
totally different because we saw what happened to what's her name, Beberesha.
Yes.
She got a phone
couple
thrown
of
at her,
How do you
and
pronounce
she
that?
Beberesha. Is that how you say
They're
it?
throwing
I've been
vapes
saying
at
it wrong
Drake
the
and
whole
stuff
time.
like that.
I think that's how you'd say it if she's Spanish, but I think
she's.
she's Armenian, so I don't actually
I know. I just because that's not how I pronounce it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
same.
surprised that I have
it
it
better-
way wrong.
Same. I don't think I
I'm
was
good with
saying it
my
right.
I'm
What
good
is-
with my sports tennis players and stuff, but I have no idea
Me
about
neither.
Beba.
Well, you
I
guys
thought
know
it
what
was
I'm talking
Rexa.
about, though.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
mispronouncing her name, then I'm sorry.
No, I think you're
but-
pronouncing it right. That's my point. Yeah.
But yeah, no, she got a phone thrown at her, and
I know.
I saw like she had a black
It's
eye.
terrible.
So like you can't compare
Yeah.
artists getting mad about potentially endangering themselves, and also if their fans are being disrespectful, to out of nowhere she's like, I don't love you guys. Like that's not the same thing in my
It
opinion.
almost reminds me. Remember when I think it was Miranda Lambert that was on doing her concert, and there were two girls at her concert in the front row taking a selfie, and she mid stops her song and goes, "I don't like that you guys have your phones out. Take off your
Yeah.
phones." And it's like, well, they're there to capture a moment in their life.
Lambert sounds like she's unhappy.
Look, I'm not a part of any stan cultures anyway. Oh wait,
What's
Wait,
your
is there someone that if there's an artist that you love?
artists?
You know, do you love Drake? If Drake did, what could Drake do where you would go on the opposite train?
If he did something illegal and like
What?
did
He
something
does illegal
egregious,
stuff.
like I don't know, like did something, just something unspeakable, right, then yeah, like I would obviously then I have a moral compass and I would not support.
Do
someone.
you?
Just as a moral compass, guys. Wow.
Uh-huh. But it's like look, LeBron never done anything wrong in his life. He's a great role model to have.
Yeah.
I'm a part of the LeBron stan culture, so
There you go.
yeah, goats only, right? Bah.
Don't group Messi and LeBron together, please.
Whoa, what are you talking about? They just embraced last week. They're part of the same.
No, you can be friends. They're not.
What do you
the
mean?
same.
Don't put Messi and LeBron in the same sentence.
I didn't say put Messi and LeBron. I said the same category.
Why? They're in the same category. Why not?
I think
Are
Messi's
they?
the best footballer of all time. Boom,
LeBron's
boom.
arguably the best basketball player of all time.
Where are the MJ fans? Where are the 90s and 80s babies? I know.
'cause
Come
is
for
there
Justin.
anyone that like? Because I guess it's Messi and Ronaldo, but like
No,
LeBron.
I'm just pulling your leg. LeBron's obviously one of the best to ever do it in the sport. I just love winding Justin up because it's the easiest thing to do in the world.
Yeah, okay, well then.
Yeah, super easy. Exactly.
I'm a Tiger Woods guy.
There you go.
There you go.
I,
I'm a Tiger fan too,
he's he had a checkered past at times. It doesn't bother me though.
but he bounced back.
Well, no, I know, but did he? I
he
mean,
bounced
from
back
that.
from his own problems, though.
Yes,
Yeah, no, I'm talking about
he repaired his image.
Has
yeah,
Yeah, Tiger's repaired his image.
I guess so.
If you think about it, from where he was when he was at the peak of his powers, he was the most hated guy on the tour, and nobody liked Tiger. To now, where we saw when he won the Masters, everybody was shaking his hand.
Oh no, those guys
But
on
then-
tour know that they make money because of Tiger
also-
Woods. That's their hero.
And also the other
from a
thing
golfing perspective, off the course though, he did have issues.
yeah, of course he did.
Whatever,
He still
I watched
does
him
have
for golf, but-
Issues off
Yeah.
the court, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
course,
that's true.
Excuse me, right now.
Getting his lawyer to break up with his girlfriend
yes,
is
yes,
an
we
interesting
saw that,
move.
Yeah.
No, Tiger is interesting. That's a different one. I feel like for me, like I still will never forget the first time I ever opened that magazine and saw like his history of how many women was there?
I don't know. There was like 60, 70, 80 women at
Yeah,
one point.
but then again, like I guess it brings a convo of it's like, can people overcome stuff like that? Like,
Yeah.
has time really healed everything, no matter where you
Athletes
are?
arguably the most forgiven
Yeah.
by the population.
I
I
think
can't
you're
even
right.
get into football players. You guys know they have an absolutely disturbing past.
Yeah.
But we give athletes so much because there's like, I think we kind of look at them like they're not on our level. They're not humans, right? They're elevated. So I
Yes.
think we forgive them so much easier because there's this like, we look at them like they're gods,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, think about it. Like, I don't need to say what they've done, but you know who I'm talking about. There are athletes out there that are, and people
Well,
are still out here supporting them.
You talked about it. You talked about it in the piece right that you guys did. That people, you should compartmentalize that you don't love these people as much as your family or your friends. But in some instances, people love these people they
Yes,
adore more than their family and friends too. Like, and that's a crazy world.
Yeah,
Some of you
for
don't even
sure.
know that you love that much. There is a funny question on here. So when it comes to being a fan, Are you guys one of those people that tweet at your favorite celebrity or try to, like I self-acclaimedly, and maybe I'm putting myself on blast. I DM'd LeBron one year.
DM'd LeBron?
Wishing him a happy birthday.
Very nice.
You know what's so funny?
That's a pleasant thing.
I also DM'd Drake one time saying,
God.
send me some free tickets to OVO Fest. But I was like 14, right? Relax.
Oh, all right.
It's fine. Like, are you guys those type of people?
I didn't myself, but I will say it's an ick because one time the guy that I was with opened his Insta and I saw that he had just sent a message to DeMar DeRozan wishing him a happy birthday and asking him to wish his mom a happy birthday. And in that moment I was like, it's not bad, but it's like
That's nice.
It is nice. It's super nice.
And DeMar's not gonna open it anyways.
But that's what it is, where it's like, they're not.
But at least it wasn't like he was asking for something. It was like, hey, happy birthday.
No, he
to you
did.
and
He
your
was
mom.
like, can you wish my mom a happy birthday? Which is like great. Like I think it's super cute. But I'm like, dude, he's not coming back.
That guy is gonna be watching
this. He's got
this.
50,000 requests.
Yeah.
You're just putting this guy, throwing this guy out there. Like
Did I drop a name? Did I say anything?
Nah, but he probably knows who he is watching this.
Okay, sure. If
Yeah,
he's watching, I'm sorry.
let's talk about another go, Rob.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg last night.
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
at the show with Ellie, right?
Yeah.
Who's in my ear right now, producer of the
me
show.
too.
And you guys had a great time.
Yeah, great. Honestly, Snoop Dogg is my favorite rapper of all time, and people always give me so much stick for that because they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, first of all, he's been in my life for my entire life. He's been around since the early 90s, late 80s. He's been consistent this whole time. He's like 60 years old, and he performed so well. He sounds exactly like he records,
Love that.
which is
I
so
love that.
rare.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. It was such a good vibe. I felt like I was in LA in 1995. Like, he took us back. Ellie and I had the best time. I'll speak for him. I know he did too. It was so much fun. Good vibe at Budweiser stage with Bet99.
Yeah.
Check it
Everyone
out, by the way. We'll be
was-
there this weekend as well. Roaming
Toronto Beer
around
Fest.
everywhere. Yeah.
Do you want to put the video up? Let's put the video up of Sarah with some of the fans.
No.
What's up, guys? We're here at Budweiser stage with Bet99 to see who else but Snoop D-O-double-G and Wiz Khalifa. I can't wait for this one, guys. I'm so excited. Let's see what the fans have to say.
I'm excited to see Snoop Dogg or Wiz Khalifa.
Snoop Dogg! Okay, how drunk are you and how high are you?
They call me asparagus.
Who are you more excited to see?
Oh, Snoop, all the way. Snoop Dogg, 100%. I'm excited to see Wiz.
What's your favorite song?
No.
How long have we been listening to Snoop for?
Over 30 years. Thank you for aging me.
Absolutely not. I've been listening to Snoop Dogg for 30 years too. What are we talking about? You guys high yet?
A little bit.
Yes. Love. We're at a Snoop Dogg concert. What do you want?
First of all, some of those guys are too young to even know what Snoop Dogg is.
Doesn't matter.
What Snoop Dogg?
I noticed there were a lot of people in the crowd that I was kind of questioning how well they knew Snoop.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. That was a great conversation about whether or not we love our celebrities enough, and I think we do. And we will. You know what? Why don't you guys stick around? We'll do the parlay together after this here on Bet99 and the Parleh Show. All right, we're back to wrap the show, and it's time for the parlay. Nor and Sarah are sticking around. They have picks ready to go.
Ooh, did we win?
No, we didn't. That was an early trigger from Ellie. I appreciate the support and the positive vibes, but
This is my first time doing the parlay. I've been calling it the parlay partay the last couple days. Looks like we're having a party on.
That's true. The parlay party. Yeah. No, we didn't win last night. That was a rough one across the board. We went 1 for 3, but we got 4 picks today. I think we're gonna do quite well. The first game out of the block is an early start. It's coming up soon. Justin is on it as well as Barney. Just a quick note, Shohei Ohtani is pitching, which means if you're in Toronto and you're planning to see him this weekend, he will not be on the mound, unfortunately. But, of course, just as exciting to watch him take 4 swings a game.
Funny, Albert Vartanian was noted. That's why he was late today, or he hasn't come in today, because he was crying because Ohtani's not pitching tomorrow, and he's the biggest Ohtani stan at the office. But I'm going to take the Angels' money line. -1.5 today. Look, the Tigers suck. They're a horrible team. They're god-awful, and the Angels will win by more than 2 runs.
Noor?
I'm going to bring us to Ontario.
Right.
And I'm looking at the Ottawa Red Blacks who play against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And I'm actually going to take them to win at -155 because they are 3-3, where the Ticats have a losing record right now. They're 2-4. And they've actually beaten the Red Blacks. I believe that was on July 6th. Or 7th. But I think the Red Blacks bounce back tonight.
All right, I like it. Sarah?
Women's World Cup action, guys. Denmark and England tonight, 4:30 a.m. for us in Toronto. Go with both teams to score here, +128. I like this. Both teams are fighting to top the group. England's one of the favorites. Denmark, a super strong team. I think both teams will get it done. I'm not taking a winner, though, because it could swing both ways. And with, China and Haiti, these two are fighting for the top spot, so... I like it.
I like it. That's been an unsuccessful pick a lot in this.
So
I think it was like 19-2.
After Australia and Nigeria, both had scored, and Canada and Ireland both had scored.
I know, and that's starting to turn. It's
There
starting
you
to
go.
turn. The trend is turning. Well, nothing guts a team like a big player getting traded away, and that is the Chicago White Sox as they lost Giolito, and they are against the Guardians tonight. Tanner Bibby on the mound for the Guardians. It's a pick-em, and I'm going with Cleveland, who's trying to get back in the race in the AL Central. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. Sarah Pararia, Noor Zainab, and Justin Pooni. Listen, it is a new group today for me. Albert Vartanian. I'm sorry.
It was 3 new names for you. You know what? We'll let it slide.
Who's new?
I'm doing my best. Well, not Sarah. Sarah all the time. I apologize for everyone for not being a little bit smoother. But I'll be better tomorrow, and Albert Vartanian will be back. We'll see you then.